So it's 2025. Rates are still high, although a couple things changed this week and rates dropped a little bit due to the jobs report that completely missed, by a long shot, which I don't think anybody saw coming. I know these numbers they're just numbers, right? Like they are good sometimes, they're bad sometimes. They drive the economy, they pull the economy back. They're at the end of the day, they're just numbers. This one's an important number. A lot of agents are telling me right now on our team and some of the live events that we are doing is that it is equitable to be a buyer's agent right now and not a listing agent. And listen, everything is reciprocal. And here's what I mean by that. In some markets, you can take 10 listings and get 10 deals. In some markets, you have to take 25 listings to sell 10. It's just, are you willing to expand and contract based on what the market dynamics is? What I would not recommend you do is switch all the time. Like in this market, I work with investors. In this market, I work with listings. In this market, I work with buyers. In this market, I work with rentals, because it causes this crazy start and stop business that actually doesn't build upon itself. But yes, we do go through cycles in the market. Yes, there are really easy markets, and yes, there are very challenging markets. I would actually make the argument that the market that we went through during COVID was actually harder than it is right now, because back then it was run, right, and then rejection over and over and over again. It felt like we were productive, but at the end of the day, I don't know that the middle of the road made any more money than we're doing right now. I actually like the market that we're in right now because it really showcases the skill set of the real estate agent. And if you're a bad real estate agent, it's a tough market right now, right? If you're a great real estate agent, you're probably winning at a very high level. In the spirit of buyer agency and how do we become a very good buyer's agent, you guys all know these people. You know people that just like, they crush buyer agency, and you know others where it's like, oh, this is a drag, or this is hard, or, buyers are liars, or whatever the weird terms that we make up for everything. And here's the harsh reality of working with buyers. It's a system just like working a listing. It's just rather than advertising and negotiation, this is more interpersonal. There's a lot of communication. There's a lot of negotiation on the buyer side as well. And there's a lot of patience because this is a very big decision. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 3 rules to dominate the showing process. Now, this may be for you and your solo agent business. Maybe you have buyer's agents on your team. Maybe you have a showing agent. It works for everybody. And it's 3 simple rules. And what I think you're going to find from here is that a lot of clients will work with you much longer. They develop a lot more patience, and you will get more referrals because this process works. This isn't something we made up. We've used this for well over 10 years. I use it with all my coaching clients, with my team. Everybody uses it, and it works really easy. So rule number 1, do not ever schedule an appointment with more than 4 showings in one appointment. The reason why we do this is because at the end of the appointment, you're like exhausted. They're exhausted. They're probably in a bad mood. You're probably in a bad mood. And that's not the best time to make a buying decision, right? Especially if it's hot outside, it's the middle of summer. It is a very unsales conducive situation to writing an offer and buying something that may be the biggest purchase they've ever done. So we only want to do 4 at a time. So reason number 1, we want to prevent exhaustion. Reason number 2 is when they're exhausted, they tend to bleed the homes together. They're like, hey, I wanted that home that had like the primary bedroom on the first floor, and it had the pool. Remember, it had the ocean view or the mountain view, and you're like, no, that was homes 1, 3, and 5. That wasn't one home. Yeah, and it had the kitchen with the Carrara marble. No, that was home number 7. And now you're having to negotiate their memory versus what actual happened. So we don't want to do that, right? Don't do that to the buyer. It's very, very stressful. And the easiest script that we have around that is really simple. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, when you and I make the decision to go out there and view homes, I'm going to pick the 4 best options at any given time. Here's my commitment to you. If at any time you feel that the homes I'm not showing you are not a good fit, don't worry about it. We will just schedule another appointment, and we will keep doing these appointments as much as we can until we find the perfect home. And I think what's going to happen is your buyer is no longer, your client is no longer like, oh, they only want to show me 4 homes to get a quick commission check. No, that's not the deal. We do that as many times as you want. Some buyers are going to show 4. They're going to find their no-brainer. They're going to write an offer at list price. They're going to close in 20 days, and it's going to be the easiest deal you've ever done. And some clients, it's going to take like 6 or 7 of these appointments to identify that home. And listen, that's totally okay. It's totally okay, right? The more accurate and the more research you do in the market, the easier this process is going to be. Let's get to number 2. Give them a point system rating for every home that you show. This is such a simple thing that nobody does, and I think it creates a lot of confidence in the showings. And when you go through this point system, if it's got a low point system at the end, like you actually feel weird showing them this home. Imagine saying, hey, on a total of 5 points, I'm going to give you the formula in a second, this home rates a 2. And immediately your client's going to be like, well, why are we looking at it then, right? It helps create synergy and it helps level the playing field with all the homes that you're looking for. So you're probably asking like, all right, what are these 5 points? Well, here they are. It's actually really simple. If the home meets all of that criteria, then if for that specific category, they get 1 point. If it meets some or most of the criteria, they get a half point. If it meets none of the criteria for that category, they get 0 points. The most points you can get per showing is 5 points. And here's what it is. The location of the home. Is this in the right area that you are considering? Like when you say you want this neighborhood and this part of the neighborhood, that is a 1 if they get it. If it's close to the neighborhood, or maybe it's in the school district, but it's not in the desired neighborhood, maybe they might get a half a point. And if it's nowhere close, they're going to get 0 points. And you're like, why would I ever show a home that has 0 points? Because sometimes it's an inventory issue, right? Sometimes there's a feature of a home that maybe they didn't consider that you really want to show them. That happens, right? The second thing, the condition of the home. The condition not in regards to amazing condition 1, crappy condition 0.5, unlivable 0. That's not what I mean. If somebody wants a turnkey home, is this home turnkey? Yes, it's turnkey. It's close to turnkey. It is not turnkey at all. We have some clients that say, hey, I really don't care about the condition of the home. We're really going to rip all the floors out. We're going to repaint and we're going to replace all the fixtures. So we really don't care about the condition. We just expect that it's priced accordingly, right? 1 point, 1/2 point, or 0 point. Next thing I wrote down, the size of the home. And again, in some markets, like it's bedrooms and bath count that's important. In some markets, it's square foot. In some markets, it's number of levels. If it's a row home, like do they want a 5-level home or a 3-level home or a 2-level home? Does it meet their criteria? Again, no-brainer fit, 1 point. Almost there, 1/2 point. Does not meet your criteria whatsoever, 0 points. Fourth thing is the price of the home. Are we within the range of your comfortable price range, or are we pushing it? I think when you rate this as a 1.5 or a 0, it's going to help you understand. It will help your client understand that you're really paying attention, because pricing is obviously a big thing. And number 5, the features of the home. Again, some of that could be conditioned. Maybe they want the primary on the first floor. Maybe they want a view. Maybe there needs to be a pool. Maybe the landscaping needs to be completely done. Maybe they just want to move in and they really want this style of home because they saw that on HGTV. How does that rate? 1, 0.5, and 0. Do not overcomplicate these 5. And here's what I know is going to be true. You're going to pull all of your showings. You're going to schedule your appointments. You're going to look at this simple point system. You're going to do all the math, and you're going to say, I really wanted to show them this home, but it's a 2.5. And here's the other thing. You should tell your clients what the number is before they see it. Hey, we're at 123 Banana Street, and I really like this home. Between you and I, it's a 3.5. They're like, really? Why is it a 3.5? Well, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have this, it almost has that, but it has these 3 things. And now they're framed with that home. Like they know how to look at the home, right? We can't always show homes that are a 5. That's not possible, right? In a high inventory market, which we're kind of getting there right now. You might be able to do 50% or 70% of the showings may have a 5 out of 5. Most of them are going to be 3.5, 4, and 4.5s if you are doing the research. Here's the other rule that I wrote down. A 5 is like perfect for them, and you should tell them, hey, based on all the criteria you and I talked about, this is absolutely the best home you should be looking at right now. And let me know what you think and see if you agree if this was a 5. If it is a 3 or below, do not show it to them. If it is a 3 or below, don't show it to them. And here's where things get interesting. When somebody comes to you and you're driving through the neighborhood and maybe they're in the car with you, or maybe they're on Zillow and they looked at it and they're like, hey, Steve, I saw this home over at 129 Banana Street. It has a for sale sign in it, but we didn't look at it. And you say, oh yeah, I already did the research on that. That was a 2.5 because of condition and price. And so now you automatically have a sorting feature to tell them like, oh, well, we're only going to see homes that are a perfect fit and everything else. Now we have something that we can quantifiably say like, hey, I already did the research and that home wasn't a fit and I don't want to waste your time. It's really important, right? When you have no context as to tell them why you're showing certain homes versus the other, it becomes an argument. And they're like, well, you know what? I want to see all the homes just in case to make sure we don't miss something. Whereas now, if you have a point system, they know like, hey, this Steve guy's looking out for our best interest. Let's get to number 3. Ask if they would like to write an offer after every showing, not after every appointment, after every showing. Why would we want to do this? Number 1, It's okay if the answer every single time is no. And I'll give that to you again. It's okay if the answer every single time is no. Just tell me why. And so now when I'm reviewing my notes at the end of the day, I'm looking at my point system. I took notes while you guys were doing the showing, and you said, I don't want to buy this home because I think it's overpriced, or I don't want to buy the home because it requires a lot of work and we just don't have the budget to do it. I don't want to buy this home because we really wanted a south-facing home. This one faces west. If the answer is no every single time, the more that you tell me no, the more that I have the ability to refine what we look at in the future and make sure that we never look at homes like this ever again. And what you're going to find is, number one, the rapport between you and your client is going to go through the freaking roof. Number two, what you're going to find is that you're going to save a lot of time because you're going to be like, oh, well, I showed them a home like this before. They didn't like it, so why not even show it? Number three, it makes the point system even more valuable because now you're like, hey, you told me you didn't want to buy that home because of these three reasons, and we ranked that one a 3.5. And so this one that just hit the market is nowhere close to what we're looking for. So we're just going to skip that one and we're going to continue to hunt until we find the correct home. If you go through this process, here's what I know is going to happen for you. Number one, the arguing, and arguing is probably not the right word, but the lack of integrity between you and your client over how many homes you see will completely go away. They will put all of their trust in you because they feel like, and they understand, because you are, that you are listening to their needs and their challenges. And every single showing, like you guys have been through a showing before where you walk in, you're like, I'm kind of excited to show this home. And they walk in and they're just kind of like, it's okay. Like, and as a real estate agent, we're like, oh my gosh, please tell me I'm not wasting your time right now. And I hope I'm not wasting my time. Like, there is nothing worse than showing homes that are absolutely not a fit. And the point system and asking them if they want to write an offer after every single showing will make every showing process much better. Imagine if you made the commitment right now that every single time you showed a home, it was a 4.5 or a 5. Would your showing count go down? Sure, it would go down, but every single showing would be a joy, all right? That's the really simple thing. Let's go back. I'll take you back to the screen share and we'll go back to that list right there. Location of the home, the condition of the home, the size of the home, the price of the home, the features of the home, 1 point, half point, and 0 points. The three things overall are never more than 4 showings per appointment. Use every showing as a point system and ask them after every single showing, and not appointment, every single showing, would you like to buy the home? And if the answer is no, just tell me why. Put those 3 things into play with your showing business right now. This requires no technology. It requires no money. It requires almost no procedural change. It's just us paying a little bit more attention when we work with clients. If that works, let me know in the comments below. Have you done this before? Does it work? Do you have anything to add? What have you done that's worked? I'd love to know below. Let me know. And by the way, when you're at it, make sure you subscribe somewhere on this page right here and click the next video so you can continue to learn how to be an amazing real estate agent, even in 2025 when everybody's saying this is a hard market. All right. I love you all. We'll see you on the next one.